Hey everyone, welcome to another installment of Harry Potter Theory. In this video, we're going to be discussing the 5 most powerful witches and wizards that came from Ravenclaw House. I've covered the other 3 houses in previous videos, so be sure to check those out as well. Ravenclaw is best introduced in the Sorting Hat's own words, or yet in wise old Ravenclaw, if you've a ready mind, where those of wit and learning will always find their kind. Each of the 4 houses are known for their unique and defining characteristics. Hufflepuffs are known for their loyalty and hard work, Gryffindors for their bravery, and Slytherins for their cunning. So how about Ravenclaw? What are they known for? The answer of course relates to knowledge and wisdom. While Hufflepuff and Gryffindor get all of the glory, Ravenclaw has produced some of the most powerful and talented witches and wizards ever to grace the wizarding world. Now, if you know Hogwarts history, which you should, then you will know that Hogwarts had 4 founders: Rowena Ravenclaw, Salazar Slytherin, Helga Hufflepuff, and Godric Gryffindor. The 4 founders enchanted a hat, the Sorting Hat, a hat that would allocate students to each of the 4 houses. After the student places the hat on their head, it begins to analyze their mind and places them in a house based on how closely they resemble one of the 4 founders. Gryffindor valued bravery, Ravenclaw valued intelligence, Hufflepuff valued hard work, and Slytherin valued aspirations for power. With that in mind, let's take a look at the 5 most powerful witches and wizards of Ravenclaw. Number 5. Garrick Ollivander. Coming in at number 5 on the list is Garrick Ollivander. Now, you may know Garrick Ollivander from Ollivander's One Shop in Diagon Alley, one of Harry's first stops before beginning his first year at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Ollivander was a British half-blood wizard born in the year 1908. He was the proprietor of Ollivander's One Shop, taking over the family business which was founded in the year 382 BC. Ollivander's father Gerbold was the owner of the shop when Dumbledore was given his first wand. When Ollivander began attending Hogwarts in his youth, he was quickly sorted into Ravenclaw House. As we know, one of the defining characteristics of Ravenclaw is intelligence, and Ollivander was certainly not lacking in intelligence. This made Ravenclaw the likely choice for a man like him. Ollivander's high level of intelligence meant that it was not long before he was considered to be one of the most talented wand makers in the entire wizarding world. Going to Ollivander's before attending Hogwarts was an absolute staple. Ollivander revolutionized the way that wand making was approached, and before he took over his father's wand shop, it was common for wizards to use a broad variety of wand cores. Where previously, witches and wizards would present the wand maker with an object they wanted to use as their wand core, Ollivander disagreed with this method, as he felt that it affected the wand's temperament. Instead, Ollivander sourced powerful magical substances and enclosed them in wand woods. From this point onwards, when a witch or wizard came into his shop, they would be paired with the wand that was best suited to them. Ollivander famously remarks that the wand chooses the wizard. In addition to being one of the most impressive wand makers, Ollivander had many other special talents and abilities. He could produce non-verbal magic, apparate, and even new conjuration, an advanced branch of transfiguration. Conjuration allows individuals to transfigure an object out of thin air, as is only taught to talented students at the Newt level. Ollivander could also produce a non-corporeal Patronus charm and showed great wand versatility, able to pick up the wands of most others and use them almost instantly, without issue. Number 4. Ignatia Wildsmith. Ravenclaw House has an illustrious history. Most of the great wizarding inventors and innovators were in our house, including Ignatia Wildsmith, the inventor of Floo powder. Ignatia Wildsmith was born in the year 1227. She was a witch and wizard inventor, and she began attending Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry in the year 1938. When she started at the school, she was immediately sorted into Ravenclaw House, and this proved to be the appropriate choice given that Wildsmith would go on to become a prominent inventor. After graduating from Hogwarts, she further pursued herbology, which she was particularly interested in. This led to her invention of Floo powder. Floo powder was of course a glittery magical powder that was used by witches and wizards to travel using the Floo network, a wizarding fireplace network that connected most buildings. Ignatia's breakthrough with Floo powder earned her a spot on a chocolate frog card in the year 1320, the same year that she died. We don't know much more about Ignatia, but we do know that she looked remarkably similar to Maleficent. Number 3. The Grey Lady, aka Helena Ravenclaw. Helena Ravenclaw, aka the Grey Lady, was the daughter of Hogwarts founder Rowena Ravenclaw. Helena was among the first generations of Hogwarts students, and began attending the school while her mother, Rowena, along with the other 3 founders, were at the school. Attending the school while the founders were still there was a huge advantage, and Helena was often taught in the magical arts by her own mother, who is thought to be one of the most powerful witches of all time. This led to Helena becoming quite powerful by modern day wizarding standards. However, Helena was unusual in that she was envious of her own mother. This led to her eventual theft of Rowena Ravenclaw's diadem, a tiara said to grant wisdom to the wearer. A few years into her magical education, she betrayed her mother by stealing the diadem, believing it could make her more powerful, and running away from Hogwarts. The betrayal embarrassed Rowena, who told no one that the diadem was missing. On her deathbed, however, she did send a young man to find Helena, so she could see her daughter for one last time. When Rowena Ravenclaw fell ill, she sent the Bloody Baron, who was then alive, to go and find Helena, who had fled to Albania. The Baron was in love with Helena, and when Helena rejected his advances, he stabbed her, killing her, and then turned the knife on himself. When Helena died, she returned as a ghost, the Grey Lady. Oh yes, our house ghost is the Grey Lady. The rest of the school thinks she never speaks, but she'll talk to Ravenclaws. She's just particularly useful if you're lost, or you've mislaid something. Helena held extremely high standards for herself in life, which was part of the reason that she was so envious of her mother, who was remarkably clever. This thirst for knowledge and notability, however, did result in extremely powerful magical ability. Even after death, the Grey Lady could often be seen wandering around the Hogwarts castle, reading. She would even sometimes attend transfiguration classes. Number 2. Filius Flitwick. This is where the power really starts to pick up. Filius Flitwick was one of the most powerful wizards in the entire wizarding world. He was the resident charms master at Hogwarts and head of Ravenclaw House. Flitwick was a descendant of goblins, which accounts for his small stature, and a former dueling champion. He was among the most powerful of Hogwarts staff, similar in power to McGonagall and superseded only by Dumbledore and Snape. Speaking of eccentrics, you'll like our head of house, Professor Filius Flitwick. People often underestimate him because he's really tiny. We think he's part elf, but we've never been rude enough to ask, and he's got a squeaky voice. But he's the best and most knowledgeable charms master alive in the world today. His office door is always open to any Ravenclaw with a problem. And if you're in a real state, he'll get out these delicious little cupcakes he keeps in a tin in his desk drawer, and make them do a little dance for you. In fact, it's worth pretending you're in a real state just to see them jive. Flitwick was born in the year 1958 and began attending Hogwarts in the year 1969. Flitwick had always valued intelligence, which meant that his personality was very much in alignment with the house that he had been assigned to. During his time at the school, Flitwick achieved high grades in all of his owls and newts, particularly in the subject of charms, something that he was particularly talented at. After leaving the school, Flitwick went on to become a master duelist and dueling champion. He supposedly has a shelf full of trophies to prove it. Flitwick had a high level of knowledge in defense against the dark arts, and during the Battle of Hogwarts, he was personally responsible for the defeat of a handful of Death Eaters. Flitwick was also personally responsible for putting up the defenses around Hogwarts, which kept the Death Eaters at bay for an extended period of time. The defenses around the castle were of course a result of Flitwick's charm work, which was the area of magic that he was most skilled in. Flitwick is thought to be one of the most talented charms teachers that ever taught at Hogwarts, and had no difficulty producing even the most complex, complicated, and powerful shield charms. Flitwick could also produce a Patronus, which is the mark of a powerful wizard. In addition to dueling and charms, Flitwick was also versed in transfiguration and conjuration, and was able to conjure objects out of thin air. Number 1. Rowena Ravenclaw. Coming in at number 1 on the list is Rowena Ravenclaw, one of the 4 founders of Hogwarts and the original Ravenclaw. While we don't actually have a lot of information on Rowena, what we do know is that the founders of Hogwarts, all 4 of them, were immensely powerful. The Hogwarts founders are widely thought to have possessed power that was entirely incomparable to most modern-day witches and wizards. Rowena was born sometime in the 10th century in Scotland, and was a close friend of fellow founder Helga Hufflepuff, who was from Wales. There is much speculation that both the location and name of Hogwarts were chosen by Rowena, who dreamt that a warty hog was leading her to a cliff by the lake. She also came up with the ever-changing floor plan. Ravenclaw was thought to be the most brilliant witch of her time, perhaps even more powerful than Helga Hufflepuff, and showed considerable talent in a multitude of magical disciplines. Rowena's skill in charm work contributed to the creation of the Sorting Hat, a sentient hat that would sort students into houses for generations to come. She also created and enchanted her own diadem, which would enhance the wearer's wisdom. This is the same diadem that her daughter would later steal. Rowena could also produce a Patronus charm, and there is some speculation that she was also versed in divination. She was a truly powerful witch that is entirely deserving of the number 1 spot on this list. And that's it for this video. I think that there's some room for rearranging some names here, but I did my best. What do you guys think? Who are your top 5? let me know down in the comment section below. Until next time, you're a wizard, Harry!